Look at the following function. Looks familiar? Yes, we have looked into the linear approximation of this function. This is essentially a product of two functions in itself, right? If you remember correctly, this is one is e to the power 2x, okay, which of course looks like ex, and another function is 1 plus x to the power minus 3 by 2, which looks like 1 plus x to the power any real number r, okay. So, linear approximation of ex, as we know, is 1 plus x, and linear approximation of this function came out to be as 1 plus rx. Now, we want to look into the quadratic approximation of this function. So, again, I am going to go the tricky way. I am going to use product of these functions to look into the approximation, okay. So, e2x, the quadratic approximation of ex around 0, of course around 0, we are looking at around 0, it is 1 plus x square by 2, and that's because f dash at 0 equals to 1, f double dash at 0 also equals to 1. So, the quadratic approximation, which is f0 plus f dash 0 into x plus f double dash 0 into x square, will give me the following, right. So, in terms of e to the power 2x, this will become 1 plus 2x plus 4x square by 2, which is same as saying 1 plus 2x plus 2x square. Okay, so let's keep it aside. Let's keep this aside. Now, the next function that I have, let me change the color, is 1 plus x whole to the power minus 3 by 2. 1 plus x whole to the power minus 3 by 2. For this, I want you to concentrate on the function, the general function 1 plus x to the power any real number r. So, I know that f dash at 0 will be r, okay. Why? Because f dash x is essentially r into 1 plus x to the power r minus 1. Now, this portion will become 1 and only r will be left. Similarly, what will be f double dash x? F double dash x will be r into r minus 1. Essentially, I am going to differentiate this function, okay. So, I get r minus 1, 1 plus x to the power r minus 2, okay. And at 0, what will happen? F double dash at 0 will be r into r minus 1 into 1, okay, because 1 to the power anything will give me 1. So, this is what it will be, okay. Now, just putting in the value, let us just put in the value. So, what will be my quadratic approximation for this function? The quadratic approximation for fx, okay, in terms of r will be 1 plus rx plus r into r minus 1 by 2, r minus 1 by 2 into x square, okay. This will be my quadratic approximation, okay. So, just now feeding in the values, let us just feed in the values. I get 1 plus rx. So, what is r? R is minus 3 by 2. So, 1 minus 3 by 2x plus minus 3 by 2 into 3 minus 3 by 2 minus 1, which will give me minus 5 by 2 whole by 2, okay, whole by 2 into x square, okay. What will this give me? This will give me 1 minus 3 by 2x plus 15 by 4 and actually 8x square, okay. So, my quadratic approximation for fx, Okay, fx which equals to e to the power 2x 1 plus x minus 3 by 2 around 0. I can portray it as a product of these two approximations separately, right? So let me just multiply these terms. So this will be approximately 1 plus 2x plus 2x square into 1 minus 3 by 2x plus 15 by 8x square. Okay, so just multiplying, what do I get? Multiplying 1 with the whole bracket here, I get 1 minus 3 by 2 x plus 15 by 8 x square. Now multiplying 2x with the whole bracket here, I get 2x minus 3x square, because 2 cancels out. There is no point multiplying with the last term here, because that will give me x cube, and I am not interested in that. I am only interested till the quadratic term. Okay, so I don't need to multiply that. And lastly, I can multiply this term 2x with the whole bracket here, I will get 2x square. Again, for the same reason, I don't need to multiply it with the last two digits. Why? Because they will give me cubic or higher powers, which I am not looking at. So what will this give me? This will give me 1. Okay, x terms, I can combine the x terms. Combining the x term, I will get 1 plus half x. Okay, which was, if you remember, this was our linear approximation, and what gets added is essentially a quadratic term, which is x square into 15 by 8 minus 1. Okay, which is essentially, 1 plus x by 2 plus 15 minus 8 gives me 7 by 8 x square, and this is our quadratic approximation of the function.